Good morning, everybody. Mr. Seal back here with day 19 AMI assignment. I'm really excited about today because you get to do an experiment. Today's assignment is about thermal energy. We've done quite a few things about thermal energy, and I posted some videos to help you out with thermal energy on day 15 on Google Classroom if you want to go back and check that. Let's start with the reading. Our article is at the beginning here, and it's about thermal energy. Heat is the transfer of thermal energy, the movement of thermal energy from one thing to another, or within an object. The transfer occurs in three ways: convection, conduction, and radiation. Conduction is the transfer of heat when two objects are in contact. That means they're touching. Conductivity, energy transfer through conduction, can make things feel cold or hot to the touch when they're at the same temperature. The difference happens because of thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity measures how quickly heat flows through a material or from one material to another. Some materials have a higher than normal conductivity than others. That's because energy can flow through them easier. So two things can really impact how hot or cold an object feels. One of those is how well it conducts energy. If the heat energy can flow into or out of it faster, then it will feel hotter or colder. The other thing that will affect it is the temperature difference between your hand and the object. The greater the difference in temperature, then the more energy will flow either to or from your hand. Okay, so in today's assignment, we first get to do an experiment. You're going to conduct a touch experiment in your own home, right? This is very similar to an experiment we did in class, or actually around classroom and our commons at the beginning of the school year. So here's our procedure, our directions. Okay, so directions number one: this test, your experiment, should take place in only one room. So pick the room, maybe your bedroom, maybe the kitchen, living room, totally up to you, but keep it to just one room. The next thing you want to do is make a table to record your data. Okay, this is going to be qualitative. There'll be no numbers, just information about the objects that you choose. So you're going to use your senses, specifically touch and sight, and you should have the following in your table. And we'll take a look at my table in just a minute. So we're going to have a minimum of 5 objects, at least 5. You could do more, but try to do no less. The name of the objects and what the objects are made of, how long you touch the object. Okay, so no more than 2 minutes. You can use a timer, your phone, the clock on your computer, whatever you have to use. How did the object feel? Was it warm? Was it cold? You might even get more specific. It was really warm, really cold, extremely warm, extremely cold. And then a column to rank the objects from 1, the highest thermal conductivity, to 5, the lowest thermal conductivity. So if it felt like you think there's a lot of thermal energy movement from the object to your hand, then that would be a 1. If there's very little, then that would be a 5. Okay, so here is an example table you might use. You can just copy this down, or if you're doing this electronically, you can just make a copy of the Google Doc and fill out this table right there, and then turn that into me. Okay, so when it comes to the objects, you can pick 5, any of objects that you have in whatever room you choose. So you might choose, for example, a book, right? Like this book I have here in my office. Or you might have some leftover Easter candy lying around. That could be one of your objects. Maybe it's your phone, or a mouse, or your Xbox One controller. Okay, the objects are totally up to you. It could be an article of clothing like a jacket, chair, anything, but they all should be from the same room. And you want to make sure that you touch the object for an equal amount of time across all of them. Okay, so that's just the experiment. Once we've completed our experiment, we do have a few questions to answer. Okay, so when you complete the experiment, answer the following questions. Use the sentence frames that I've provided in red if you need to. You don't have to. They're just there to help you out. If you have a different way you want to write your sentences, feel free to do whatever is most comfortable to you. So question 1. Why is it important that the experiment take place in one room? Okay. Why do you think as scientists we want to keep all of our objects that we're testing in just one room? Right. Question 2, did you touch each object for the same amount of time? Does it matter if you touched each object for the same amount of time? And why or why not? If you think it does, why does it matter that you touched each object for the same amount of time? If you don't think it matters, then why doesn't it matter? And then question 3, what is the independent variable? This is the part of our observation that you choose. Okay, remember, an independent variable is something as a scientist that we control. We change it during the experiment. So what is that? And then you would answer something like this. The independent variable in my experiment was blah, 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 blah. And then be sure to explain why that is your independent variable. All right, I'll be watching email and Google Classroom. If you guys have any questions, I'm here to help. Look forward to seeing and hearing your answers. Good luck.